When we start patchwork, one of the things that we need to learn is about pressing your seams. Patchwork is not just about the stitching and the putting together of all your blocks, but it is about pressing. Pressing is an integral part of the whole process. So let me show you how to press your seams for patchwork. So this is a basic seam that I'm going to teach you here and the little rule for it. So let me switch cameras so that you can see. Okay, so I've got here two squares that I have stitched together. I've got a darker blue square and a lighter grey square, and I've got my little mini iron going on here. All right, so I have stitched this with a 1/4 inch seam, and the next thing I need to do then is to press that open so I can attach the next bit to it. There is a rule in patchwork which is to always press to the dark side. So if I open this up to show you, you will see I've got a lighter side here and a darker side. So I want this seam to be laying flat over on the dark side of my fabric. That means that when we've joined all our pieces together for our quilt top or whatever project we're making, all the seams are hidden behind the darker of the fabrics. All right, so let me show you how to do this. So I would actually start from the right side of the fabric, and I would have the lighter side facing down. So this is on my right hand side because I'm right-handed. If you're left-handed, you need to mirror this and you'll be coming at it from this side. Okay, so but bear with, because I am not left-handed and I cannot do it left-handed, but I'm going to give it a go for my left-handed viewers and my subscribers. So I've got my little iron here. So this is my little travel iron that if you watch my videos, you'll see it appear. This is a towel that's I make as my little temporary ironing mat on top of my cutting mat, but I've got lots and lots of thermal wadding underneath to protect my cutting mat. So what I am going to do, I've got my light facing down, so it's right side facing up, but it's on the flat of your ironing board. I'm going to lift up this dark side, but I want to make sure that the seam is coming over to the left here. So if I lift up this dark, I'm going to get the iron and I'm going to push in to that seam. All right. I'm going to go halfway down because I'm going to attempt it from the other way. What I want to make a note of is that we're not just running our iron over like we might iron creases out of things. What you're trying to do is push really into that seam so you can pretty much see the stitches. But at the same time, I'm pulling my dark piece of fabric. And as I pull that, it really opens up that seam and it helps the seam lie flat on the other side. So I'm going to turn that around. And we're going to attempt that left-handed. Now, all my left-handed subscribers, you have full permission to laugh at me right at this moment in time. But let's see how I get on. So same thing. I can't even hold the fabric. So same thing. I've got the light laying down with the right side facing up. I've got the dark in my right hand with the seam laying flat behind it. I'm going to push into that seam with my left hand, holding this dark and just pulling up and away slightly. I can do it. Does that mean I can have an honorary left-handed title? Okay, it's actually quite difficult to do. So I've pressed into the dark side. I'm sorry, I'm going to switch back to right-handed. Okay, so I've pressed into the dark side here. Then I'm going to do an extra step. I'm going to flip it over so we can see that our seam is going over to the dark side. But can you see, if I hold it up, there's just a little bump there just by the stitch line. We want to get rid of that as much as we can, and we want this seam to lay really flat. Okay, so same thing again. I've now got my light fabric facing down, so it's right side facing down. Again, I'm going to lift this darker side, but this time I'm just going to pull away. So as I press into that seam, I'm giving my blue in this instance a little tug. And can you see as I've done that, I've just done half to show you. Can you see as I've done that, this top bit where I've pressed, it's really beautifully flat. So that means my seam is beautifully set. Down here where I haven't done that, we've still got that little bump. All right, so we don't want that bump. So I'm going to carry on and go down the rest of the seam to get that all beautifully lying flat. The other reason for doing this is because if we have a great long piece of fabric to press from the right side, say you've been strip piecing, you've got 2 long strips to stitch together and you've done this side, with the best will in the world, sometimes this gets caught and sort of doesn't quite catch. So by doing it from the wrong side as well, we get our whole seam laying flat. Okay, so hope that has helped. Just remember, we're pressing to the dark side. We start with our right side facing up, we press and we pull our dark up and away and really work into that seam. And then from the wrong side, we do the same thing again. We're pressing into the seam and we're just giving our little dark side a little tug to pull it away so we can set that seam and have it laying nice and flat. I really hope that has helped. I will look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.